Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight. Headlines we have the second meeting of the Superior Council of Universities of Member State of IGAD. For the international scene, Orion capsule successfully returns to Earth after 25 days in space. Welcome to our newsroom. Prime Minister decorates the commander of the Italian military base and a commander of the MIAD-17. A delegation, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed, decorate the Italian military base commanders of the MIAD-17. A delegation led by the Minister of Interior, Saeed Nouh, the acting Director General of the National Police, Omar Hussein Hassan, and the Director General, Usman Ahmed Anashi, who was received today at the Prime Minister's office as part of the assistance and support of Italian cooperation. Two senior liaison officers of the Somali Police and the Italian Carabinieri of the command of the Italian military base in Djibouti.
Of September 2022 till today. Today we'll part to Italy. We have a mission here in Djibouti. We have to training 80 Somalian Darwish police and a lot of Djiboutian for police and gendarmerie. I am very honored for this medal. I want to thank very much our president for this height scene of fratellanza between Italy and Djibouti.
The Ministry of Women and Family, with the support of UNFPA, funded by the EU under the FEMFI project, organized this morning a training workshop on gender-sensitive strategic planning institutional capacity building Djibouti. This training workshop will last in 10 days from 12 to 2020 December at the People's Palace. This training was chaired by the Minister of Women and Family, Ms. Muna Osman Adan, and saw the participation of the representative of UNFPA, Asha Ibrahim, representative of the institutional focal points and the relevant ministries. This workshop, as the expert facilitator, has addressed this training through the process of institutional capacity building, targeting in particular the gender focal points. The objective of this training workshop is part of the launch of this process of institutional capacity building in gender-sensitive strategic planning. For her part, the Minister of Women and Family, Muna Osman Aden, said that this training through the process of institutional capacity building, targeting in particular the gender focal points. The objectives of this training workshop is part of the launch of this process of institutional capacity building in gender-sensitive strategic planning. The Minister of Social Affairs, Solidarity, Ulufa Ismail Abdo, accompanied by an important delegation composed of her senior advisor, Jibah Benoit Frimonsa, the legal advisor to the Prime Minister's office, Dr. Kalsouma Ali Ahmed, and the coordinator of the National Nutrition Program of the Ministry of Health, Abdullah Almi Gedi, participate from December 6 to 8, 2022 in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, in the high-level meeting on the theme 2022, the African Year of Nutrition, Strengthening Nutritional Resilience and Food Security on the African continent, as well as agro-food health social protection systems to accelerate human, social, and economic development due to their negative effect on human capital development and productivity. Hunger and malnutrition remain more than ever a major obstacles to Africa's economic and social development and are keeping African countries away from the achievement of the 2014 Malabo targets, the 2013 Agenda of the Sustainable Development Goals, and the African Union Agenda 2063. It is in this context that the Assembly of the Head of State approved and launched during the 35th Assembly of the African Union in February in Addis Ababa, the African Years of Nutrition. This meeting held in Abidjan, sponsored by the Vice President of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, His Excellency Tiomoko Meilitia Kone, was attended by the several African head of state, the King of Lesotho, representatives of the African Union, technical and financial partners, the African Development Bank, the United Nations system, and regional organizations aim to produce a play of a strong political financial commitment of African states in the implementation of the Malabo Roadmap commitment. The Minister of Labor in charge of formalization and social protection, His Excellency Omar Abdi Said, represented the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, at the 10th Summit of the Head of State and Government of the OACP held in Luanda, Angola from December 6 to 10, Angola from December, whose theme was three continents, three oceans, a common destiny is three continents, three oceans, and a common destiny is building a resilient and sustainable OACP. The delegation attached by the Minister of Labor was composed of the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the Benelux of Djibouti, His Excellency Adan Mohamed Dileita, Ambassador Guelleh Idris Omar, representative of the Ministries of Affairs and International Cooperation, the technical advisor in communication of the Ministry of Labor, Kadir Omar Khalileh, the representative of the Ministry of Economy and Finance in charge of industry, Djibouti's focal point at the OACP, Mahdi Ismail Darar. During this summit, Kenya, which has assured the presidency of the OACP for 3 years, 2019 to 2022, passed to the president of the host country, Angola, His Excellency João Manuel Gonzalez Lourenço, for the next 3 years. The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Chinese Embassy in Djibouti, organized a 2-day initial training on acupuncture and a massage for health care providers in Djibouti City and inland regions. It should be recalled that the Republic of Djibouti and China have an excellent relationship of cooperation in the field of health. This ceremony was attended by the Ambassador of China in the Republic of Djibouti, Mr. Hu Bin, the Senior Advisor, Mr. Abdul Qadir Mohammed Garada, and this training of acupuncture and massage is a medical health care practice in traditional Chinese medicines. This medicinal practice remains very popular in the world. Moreover, its international recognitions and influence are increasingly important. The second phase of training will take place next week at the acupuncturist and massage department of the General Peltier Hospital for a period of 3 to 6 months. In his speech, the advisor of the Ministry of Health, Mr. Abdul Qadir Mohammed Garada, took the opportunity of this ceremony to reiterate his sincere thanks to the government and the Embassy of China in Djibouti for their constant support to the health sector. The objective of this acupuncturist and massage training is that the providers can initially master the theoretical knowledge of the basis of acupuncture and massage, familiarize the manipulations of the customary ways of acupuncture and massage, be able to treat common diseases, and train Djiboutian professionals of acupuncture and massage specialties. The city of Arta has just hosted the organizations of the second meeting of the Higher Council of Universities of IGAD member state, Sunday, December 11, 2022, Arta City, Djibouti. The second meeting of the Higher Council of University of IGAD member state started this Sunday, December 11 in Artasville, and will continue until December 12 with the visit of the campus of the University of Djibouti, as well as a contact with its management team. This inter-university meeting gathers presidents, rectors, chancellors, and delegates of the main universities in the regions, among which Djibouti, Khartoum, Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Makerere, Uganda, Jigjiga, Ethiopia, and Afad, Sudan. This regional meeting was officially launched by the Deputy Prefect of Arta, Muhammad Fawzi Ahmed, as well as the President of the University of Djibouti, Dr. Jama Mohamed Hassan, who was keen to welcome his peers to the Republic of Djibouti on behalf of the Executive Secretary of IGAD, His Excellency Dr. Workneh Gebeyehu. Ms. Fathi Alwan, Director of Health and Social Development, insisted in her brief speech on the importance of the higher education sector for the social and economic integrations of the IGAD sub-region. The higher councils of university in IGAD member state is the representative body and the emanations of the IGAD Universities Forum following the elections of its steering committee, which meet for the first time in April 2021. The council held its first consultative meeting in July 2021 in Khartoum by adopting its work program. The crisis caused by the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 was the reasons for the slowdown in the realizations of the initial work agenda of the IGAD Higher Councils of University. This second meeting of the Supreme Councils of IGAD member state was held in Arta City to revitalize the work of these executive bodies of the universities in the IGAD region. The role of the Council is to serve as a forum for reflections on the number of regional teams and programs that are critical importance to the IGAD sub-region. Now listen to Ms. Fathia Abubakar Alwan, Director of Health and Social Development of IGAD.
As you know, also, the board has held its first consultative meeting in July 21 in Khartoum, and it was there also then the board adopted its program of work and also began earnest involvement with the core activities of IGAD. Later, as I have said also, my colleague Dr. Kabede Kassa, who is our senior coordinator for the educations, higher education, science, technology, and innovation, will also give us a highlight of the achievement, opportunity, and challenge. At this juncture, I want also to emphasize that education is at the IGAD core program. Higher education in particular is also one of the critical tools of skills and also the competency development for regional integration and also our people-to-people interaction. That's why also IGAD thought that it's desirable to establish the IGAD University Forum and the IGAD also Council Higher Education, which will have also a lot of role to play, including also serving as a think tank on a number of important regional agenda. In this regard also, the board needs to take its mandate, responsibility seriously, and also assist to achieve the socio-economic transformation, the regional integration, mitigation, impact of climate change, stability, but also other issues such as migration and displacement. I'm also sure that these top priorities are also priority in your respective university, and also we want to listen to you and from you to guide us in the process. We'll also make the necessary efforts to pull also the results together. Success that could take time.
The second meeting of the Higher Council of University of IGAD member state continued today, Monday, December 12, with a visit to the campus of a university of Djibouti and a meeting with its management team. Upon their arrival at the University of Djibouti, they were welcomed by the president of the university, Dr. Jama Mohammed Hassan. This inter-university meeting brings together president, rectors, chancellors, and delegates of the main universities in the region, including those of Djibouti, Khartoum, Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Makerere, Uganda, Jigjiga, Ethiopia, and Afad of Sudan. This second meeting of the IGAD Senior Councils of Member States was organized with the aim of revitalizing the work of this executive body of the university in the IGAD region. The role of the Council is to serve as a forum for reflections on the number of regional teams and programs that are of critical importance to the IGAD sub-region. Several recommendations were made at the end of the meeting, and experts in the file were able to discuss ways and means to deepen the links between the different universities of IGAD countries. The meeting was attended by the director of IGAD, Ms. Fathia Abubakar Alwan.
And we want to appreciate that this coordination and forum for universities in IGAD is going to do a very big job in terms of bringing universities together to work together and promote synergies that are likely to develop solutions for um, our, our universities and for the communities, because there are different clusters that you've looked at which actually require joint research. And in a modern world now, you cannot afford to work it out alone. This is why we appreciate the forum and the coordination of IGAD to make these universities realize that we have to work together. You're aware that after the COVID pandemic, the world was brought so close. And now universities cannot afford to work in a singular form. But what we require is to actually put our efforts together in terms of research in the different areas that have been identified by IGAD. And for Makerere University, we are always at the front because cooperation we have with many different universities across the globe, and very many, treaties have been signed with different universities across the globe. And now it is Africa, and it is IGAD where we are members, and here we are going to take a central role in making sure that we do joint proposal development so that we can apply for funding and we do look at the problems that we face in Africa to actually attain and provide solutions to our communities. This is what we require.
Under the patronage of the Ministry of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, the Institute of Life Science of CERD, in partnership with the Directorate of Agriculture's Forestry, is organizing a scientific event in the framework of the World Soil Day 2022 under the theme Soil for Nutritionist Training on agroecological practices in Dakhil due to its harsh climatic conditions. The Republic of Djibouti has been facing a severe and recurrent drought in the last decades. Climate change could accelerate the risks of soil degradation, loss of arable land, and biodiversity erosions. In this context, the Institute of Life Science of the Center of Studies and Research of Djibouti, in partnership with the Directors of Agriculture and Forestry of the Ministry of Agriculture and the Food Agriculture Organization, organized as part of the celebration of the World Soil Day training on agroecological practices during a field day of agricultural farm of Jamagedi in Dakhil on Sunday, December 11, 2022. In Djibouti, the training was for the benefit of farmers, leaders from the interior regions of the country. The objective of this meeting was to review the studies and challenges related to the fertility of the Djiboutian soil in relation to agricultural production, animal nutrition, and human nutrition. This file of training is part of a larger priority framework program of multidisciplinary research aimed at ensuring food security and implemented by the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, in a context of global change. In this period of cool season, when the proliferation of mosquitoes is on a rise, members of the associations of young people motivated for solidarity, Inter Ali Sabih have conducted anti-malaria fight on all levels through this popular neighborhood of the city of Ali Sabih, namely the Ali neighborhood, Dumira, and Artas neighborhoods. Initially, the members of the association is in close collaboration with the health officials of the region have organized a training workshop for influential women of these three areas of housing on the methods of contamination of malaria and those effective to protect themselves. The training provided in this workshop and the anti-malaria actions that followed are part of the project to support the transparency and physical commitment supervised by the regional councils. It has received financial support from the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. This multi-faceted fight against malaria focused on the proliferation of mosquito larvae nest to the means of the neutralize them. It was conducted in close collaboration with the health officials of the region. The Côte d'Or Sports Complex in Mauritius was once again the scene of an unprecedented gathering after the great success of the launch of the 12 editions of the CGSOE game. It was for the closing ceremony tonight, a cultural event for the whole family, fun and free, a moment much awaited by many spectators, during which a festive atmosphere reigned and brought much joy and happiness in the heart of guests and young people from different sub-regions of the Indian Ocean. An evening animated by the start of the country prophecy, who made a remarkable show after a tense week, reaching meetings and exchanges between the young people of the Indian Ocean. The closing party allowed everyone to relax, dance, and immortalize the moment. It was the moment to share with joy and numerous sport achievement. After the speeches of the officials of the flag of the CGSOE was passed to the next host country of the CGSOE Games, Seychelles, scheduled for 2024-5. It was the Mauritian Ministers of Sports who passed the flag to his Seychelles country's counterpart. Before the fireworks on drones show, the young Mauritians presented during this ceremony a multitude of activity, artistic number of music, songs, dances, and shows that represent their culture, their stories. We look forward to 2025 for the 13 editions of the CGSOE. The Abdurrahman Jama family is looking for their daughter, Habiba Abdurrahman Jama, aged 17 years. She was last seen on Wednesday, November 23, 2022 at 8 a.m. leaving her home in Engela. She was dressed in a black abaya and sandals. This young girl is a vulnerable person suffering from psychological disorders. In case of discovery, please contact the standards number of the Central Police Stations 2135 2761, or go to the headquarters of the Brigade of Minors, but also on the numbers of the family 77086662 on 7753 and 2229. For the international scene, children fell into the frozen lake in England, 4 in critical conditions. 2 missing, 4 children are in a critical condition after falling into the frozen lake in King's Church near Birmingham in the West Midlands. They were playing when the ice broke under their feet. Witnesses tried to pull them out of the waters before help arrived. The 4 young people were in a cardiac arrest when they were taken to hospital. Rescuers were searching the lake for 2 other children presumed dead. The successful return to Earth for the Orion capsule after 25 days in space. After spending a little more than 25 days in space and having gone around the moon, the spacecraft Orion of the NASA landed Sunday in the Pacific Ocean, last stage of a mission crowned of success, and prefiguring the return of the human on the moon in the years which come. The landing took place in the Mexican island of Guadeloupe at 17 GMT, 9 AM local times, at the capsules which did not have an astronaut on board for this test flight entered in the terrestrial atmosphere at the speed of 40,000 km per hour and had to support a hellish head to 2,800 degrees. That's to say half of the temperature of the surfaces of the sun. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.